What up, Long Beach? Welcome back to your home for everything local sports. It's JJ.
And Julian.
And Matt.
And this video is sponsored by Naples Rib Company, a perfect place to have your team's banquet.
We are getting ready for the playoffs. Are you? We're looking at the teams in the lower divisions past Division 1, giving the crooked numbers some love, running down the 11 local teams playing in the lower divisions here for the CIF Southern Section playoffs on Friday night. Starting in Division 2, Los Alamitos and Norco at Cerritos College at 7 p.m. Julian and the Los Al Griffins won the Sunset League for the first time since 2014. They allowed 22 points in 5 league games.
Yeah, their defense was really good. This is a rematch of the Division 1 CIF Southern Section softball finals last June, which Los Al ended Norco's perfect season. So Norco, they're going to have a lot of school pride, and it's going to be a big game. Norco went 6-4 with their losses coming to Centennial, Olu, Rancho Cucamonga, and Servite. So this team, they've played some big games.
Norco coming out of the Big 8 league that has 6 teams in it, head scratch. Their defense gave up an average of 17 points per game, so they can play some D over there. Los Alamitos going to be challenged by this team. Again, that's at Cerritos at 7 p.m.
Next up in Division 2 is Islamorada at Heritage. The Matadors won their last 5 games after starting the year 0-5.
Senior running back Angel Favela getting going in the second part of this season, running for over 1,500 yards, 16 TDs. He's got 14 of those TDs in the last 3 weeks, so they have been feeding the beast.
Seems like Heritage has a tough draw this week. Islamorada's won 5 in a row, but Heritage has averaged 325 yards rushing per game, so it seems like that's going to be what they're going to rely on this week.
Moving on to Division 4, Downey at home against Etowanda, and JJ, I think the Vikings got a great draw with this one.
Oh, without question, they're taking on an Etowanda team that's 3-7 and lost its last 3 games. They've allowed 459 points this season, so a Downey offense that's getting rolling right now with junior quarterback Kajon Foots and senior running back Barack Ross. They're licking their chops with this matchup.
Yeah, and with Foots and Ross, these Vikings have scored 48 or more points in each of their last 4 games after their overtime loss to Paramount last month.
Head coach Jack Williams said that loss to Paramount woke his team up. They lost in the Division 4 quarterfinals last year. They lost a close game to Cathedral by 2 points in 2015. That was the year after that epic controversial finals loss. So these Vikings have gone to the playoffs. They've got experience. It's time to use it.
Speaking of Paramount, the number 2 seed Paramount Pirates are going to be hosting Wilson down in Division 5 on Friday. And these teams, man, they've played a lot against each other the past couple years.
Yeah, we love this double dip. Paramount won its first outright San Gabriel Valley League title since 2001. They're on a 9-game winning streak. Wilson held on to beat Compton 19-18 in the last game of the regular season last week to clinch their playoff spot. They went to the semis last year. Paramount looking for a nice playoff run like that.
Yeah, in the matchup I'm watching this game, Wilson's offense with Ryan Petway and Ian Issa going up against that Pirates defense led by Deontay Livingston and Justin Livingston.
The Paramount defense giving up 14 points a game this year. Opportunistic playmaking, they score points, they stop teams. Senior Steve Brown's got a team high 8 sacks. Senior Cedric Hood is going to be the starting quarterback. They've decided on that for the playoffs.
Down in Division 8, Valley Christian hosting Riverside Notre Dame. The Crusaders coming off of their first CIF title since 1996, and they won their 3rd consecutive Olympic League title this year. They're led by senior running back Gianni Hurd, 1,183 yards on the ground and 16 touchdowns.
Senior quarterback Isaac Joseph, over 1,600 yards passing, 27 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. Those 2 seniors, the playmakers for the Crusaders, kind of arrived a year early, won that CIF title last year. They're looking for a repeat performance in these playoffs, starting with Riverside Notre Dame. Like we said, a 7-3 team out of the Ambassador League. Their defense only allowed 17 points per game and had 15 interceptions. So Joseph has his hands full on Friday night at home.
All right, next up in Division 8 is Milliken versus Northview. Milliken won 8 games for the first time since 1986, and they're on a 6-game winning streak.
They're also hosting their first playoff game since 1986. A lot of young guns getting it done for the Rams. Sophomore quarterback Keanu Campbell-Caldwell, over 2,000 yards passing with 25 TDs. That goes for the defensive side of the ball as well. Junior Nick Lombardi, 84 tackles. Senior Jason Skinner, 80 tackles. That's tops in the Moore League. Senior with 11 sacks. They're going to have their hands full with the Northview offense. Senior quarterback Stephen Comstock has over 9,000 yards passing in 4 years at Northview. That is just incredible statistically. Over 2,500 yards passing this year with 26 TDs.
All right, and for a common opponent, Northview lost to San Dimas 48-42, a team that lost to Wilson 42-35. In that game, Comstock threw for 482 yards and 5 touchdowns in the loss.
Moving on to Division 9, fresh off their first Suburban League title since 2008, number 3 seed Mayfair Monsoons hosting Chaffee.
At Ron Yari Stadium, this offense clicking with junior quarterback Joshua Calvin, senior running back Trey Anderson, both those guys over 1,000 yards, and junior defensive back and wide receiver Chris Adamora, a game changer with 5 interceptions this year. Mayfair, magical season, but they've got some unfinished business in the playoff. They lost in the first round last year and kind of trying to shake that "we lose in the first round" moniker.
They are determined. Coach Bedell has his team ready to go. Mayfair also got a good draw as Chaffee has only averaged 19 points per game.
Also in Division 9, another double dip, St. Anthony and Norwalk, 2 local teams going at it. The Saints coming off their 3rd league title in 4 years. The way the Saints have been successful in the playoffs, like they were last year when they won their first CIF title since 1948, has been running the ball. They have had a string of impressive running backs. Can junior running back Jalen Jefferson be that guy this year? He's got almost 700 yards on the ground with 8 TDs.
Speaking of running the ball, that's what Norwalk's known for. They finished 3rd in the Suburban League, but they scored over 130 points in their last 2 regular season games. And with Breon Penny at quarterback and some of the other running backs, St. Anthony's going to have their hands full with this rushing attack.
Finally in Division 10, it's Gar at Santa Fe. What a tough way to finish the season for these Gladiators. They were cruising and then ran into Downey and Paramount in the last 2 weeks. They played for their league title and then they lost those last 2 games. But junior running back Micah Bernard is the guy that makes this team go. Over 2,000 yards on the ground with a couple huge performances this year. If they're going to do anything in the postseason, Bernard is going to be the guy.
We'd like to thank all of our sponsors, including Papalucci's, one of the best places to eat on 2nd Street.
Friday night, you're going to find all the live coverage on our Twitter feed, at Facebook, on the websites. So if you're at a football game, you can be following the other football games as well, right here at GazetteSports.com and the Press Telegram.